Holy cow is seated. I will explain if the new function that mints XRP is driving up its price or not. The CEO of Coinbase recently dropped some rather wild numbers. The populace is taken aback. We will also discuss that. We will also interview the CEO of Securitize, who is helping to arrange this deal, and examine the cooperation between BlackRock, RLUSD, and VanEck. Please, all I ask is that you bestow onto me that radiant grin so that I can radiate those positive energy. The like button has to be smashed. Listen, I've been consulting with BS's expert panel, and they've informed me that 5,000 likes on my video is the only way XRP's price can increase. They informed me about that. I am uncertain. It could be genuine. Even if it isn't, you probably shouldn't challenge the authorities, should you? Nod, nod. Obviously, the two are completely unrelated. At the moment, XRP is trading at $2.90, a gain of about 95 cents, or 4.38% for the day. With Bitcoin's 1.7% gain, the cryptocurrency industry as a whole has shown some signs of recovery. Example, Cardano is up 2.3% while Doge is up 3.8%. Here on Wednesday, Aster is still going bonkers, right? Up 20% now. Wednesdays aren't always bad, today is just fine. However, there was a minor decline in the S&P 500. I think it's great that there is a crypto-only movement happening right now. After the strange sell-off earlier on Monday, the markets will likely react in a variety of ways. For example, XRP has nearly regained all of its losses. But keep in mind that it was trading at $3.15 earlier today. It's so cycled back down the stochastic RSI, starting at its highest point. So, in theory, once it reaches $2.72, it should begin to rise again. This is XRP's 9th rebound, and we're back at $2.95 again. Additionally, an extremely strange event transpired. Recall that we discussed how the cryptocurrency season gauge showed an unexpected spike to $100. When I consider Bitcoin's market share, I don't see a big drop that would allow that altcoin season gauge to show $100. So I thought, well, this looks a bit strange to me. As of right now, it's repaired. Worried that you would miss altcoin season? Well, you needn't have been. Oh no, the gauge has a malfunction. All right, you shouldn't be too alarmed that it was occurring. Strangely, the United States Treasury has confirmed that there is no Bitcoin in the country's reserve at the moment. No agency reports have been received by the Treasury about the transfer of Bitcoin or crypto to the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve digital asset stockpile, despite Trump's orders to do so. It's all right, they haven't done it yet. Some other, perhaps more pressing matters have come up, and they will likely address them. I see. A government shutdown could be imminent. The whole UN scenario and, naturally, all the money-related stuff. Thus, it will be addressed, but that hasn't occurred yet. Okay, so let's jump into Brian Armstrong's thoughts on the present and where he predicts the cryptocurrency business will be in 2030. You never know when interest rates and stock prices will intertwine. For a long time, it was believed that these two variables were positively associated. Plus, I feel like people are beginning to view Bitcoin as a precious metal in the long run. Those who are afraid of the future may seek refuge in it. Therefore, it combines elements of both of those things. However, I make an effort to not let myself be carried away by fleeting fads. Looking at the big picture is what I strive for. Plus, there are currently a handful of major tailwinds that make me think Bitcoin could reach $1 million per coin by 2030 or thereabouts. Part of the reason for this is the increasing clarity of regulations. I brought up the Genius Law. This might be a watershed moment, especially with the market structure legislation that is, one hopes, drawing near. Our team also learned that the USA has established a strategic Bitcoin reserve. An enormous demand driver, in my opinion, would be the prospect of Bitcoin holdings by the U.S. government. It seems likely that the remaining G20 nations will do the same. Finally, I'd like to mention that several companies have lately launched Bitcoin ETFs. Plus, for those you crypto enthusiasts out there, Coinbase is actually powering 80% of the custody. With the launch of these ETFs, however, a flood of institutional capital has begun and will likely continue to pour into Bitcoin. Bitcoin is therefore benefiting from several favorable tailwinds. The total supply of Bitcoin, in my opinion, will never exceed 21 million. Additionally, many financial resources still lack access to it. It seems like this thing still has a ways to go based on that. I see. Again, that's a tenfold increase from where we are now assuming Bitcoin might reach $1 million by 2030. On the other hand, in theory, we may see 40 or 50 for XRP if it simply follows the same 2030 range if it accomplishes more. Once more, that is in the future, 5 years hence. So, for that to happen, the crypto market and XRP need a lot of favorable developments. Even with XRP to 1,000 and all that, I am aware that there are individuals in the world. Well, that's not our channel. Okay, therefore you can rest assured that I will never recommend a purchase, sale, or hold. Definitely not financial guidance. Before putting your money into anything, you should always perform your own research. Never again will I message you on social media requesting that you join up for anything or give me money. That is not me on any social media platform, including TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or Telegram. That is my only presence online, excluding my official Maker Live Twitter account. This channel on YouTube as well. Understood. Proceed with extreme caution. Critically vital. Fascinating. Major announcements emanating from I encountered a minor technical glitch there. Exactly this. Okay. The Flare FA asset system makes it possible to use FXRP, which is an ERC20 token that is one-to-one with XRP, expanding the use of XRP in DeFi beyond collateral loans and into liquid staking. That opens the door to a subsequent opportunity. And in under 2 hours, 6.5 million FXRP were created. As you can see, several DeFi protocols are going to lock up and deploy billions of XRP. Supply shock is something that the majority of the crypto ecosystem is confused about. For XRP, this could be on the horizon. Based on my observations, XRP DEFI is growing rapidly, making it the most decentralized option for earning XRP income. Interesting Flare information, not financial advice again. You now have the opportunity to do so through a relationship with Flare, if you're interested. Also, we learned today that the number of job postings on Indeed dropped 8% year over year in the week ending September 12th, reaching a level not seen since February of 2021. If this trend continues, it may indicate that the employment market is becoming less active. Furthermore, the Federal Reserve may begin lowering interest rates once that occurs. He has begun lowering interest rates, but he needs to keep doing it. Again, low interest rates could be a sign of a bullish trend in the cryptocurrency market, since people are more likely to take out loans, use crypto, buy crypto on margin, or invest in high-risk assets when money is cheap. This is the way things stand. We learned this from the past. To be sure, it will be fascinating to watch how things turn out. Here we have it. We have seen this before, yeah. My next stop is the interview with Securitize CEO Carlos Domingo. I see. Also, the collaboration with BUIDL and VBIL from BlackRock and VanEck, respectively. We should listen to it. You might be able to explain this announcement to us today, Carlos. This is actually from the Roll-Up podcast, by the way. You have already implemented this using VanEck. Could you tell me the backstory and the significance of this to Securitize? The currency, the dollar rails, and the security rails are all separate, which is a problem in the capital markets. Tokenized securities and dollars can be stored on the same ledger, which is a major benefit of tokenization. As the leading issuer of tokenized securities, it is imperative that we form partnerships with the leading issuers of tokenized dollars. This will enable us to bridge the gap between the two markets and ensure that our assets have sufficient liquidity. This will greatly enhance their utility for those on the chain, as they can be more effectively combined with DeFi assets that require liquidation and used as collateral for trading. To avoid problems with collateral liquidation, it's a good idea to convert to stablecoins or anything similar. In any case, you may be aware that Ripple, a major player in the industry, introduced its own stablecoin not long ago, maybe 6 months ago. However, the rapid growth it has experienced is truly astounding. It goes without saying that we are well acquainted with Ripple. They have been in constant communication with us since they invested in our company in 2018. I'm not sure if anyone is aware of this, but I believe Ripple has lately begun to make some moves to approach our space with greater seriousness. They introduced a custody product, as you are aware. They have just launched a stable coin and acquired a premier broker. As a result, people started talking about how RLUSD could be a useful liquidity layer for RWAS. This morning, we announced that 2 of our tokenized treasury funds, BUIDL from BlackRock and BUIDL from Banek, will be the first to gain access to RLUSD through on-chain liquidity options. Thus, the possible outcomes of this situation are now more understood. Following the release of the announcement, Scrutus Securitize, the company's CEO, has provided an explanation regarding the possible future of the announcement and its impact on RLUSD and XRPL traffic. It would be good for XRP, again. Thus, the outcome of XRP here tonight will be really intriguing to watch. Here on the 1348 EMA, we can observe a sell indicator. After 2 days of falling prices, we typically see a 2 or 3 day drop on the 4-hour chart. However, if prices rise here, we may see a buy signal. In case you forgot, we witnessed something similar here. We made a purchase, and then we had a 6-day period. Accordingly, it does not always imply simply 2 days. However, this is an excellent resource that will be of great assistance to us. Those who are interested can obtain the Avi Amazing 1348 EMA by becoming Patreon members. About 2 cups of coffee or $10 every month, depending on your location in the world. You may find the link in the description below. That indicator can be obtained afterwards if you're interested. Exciting times lie coming. The next move of the market will be interesting to watch. Do yourself a favor and subscribe to the channel right now if you haven't already. Take a look at the descriptions below for the links. Find out what piques your curiosity. Affiliates and the Patreon account are among them. If you're interested, feel free to leave a standard comment or a super thanks. 1, 2, 3, and 8 XRP until the end of time. I think it would be cool if we could aim for 5,000 likes for this video. I am uncertain. Perhaps that is feasible. For tuning in, I am grateful. Perhaps we will cross paths again soon. Also, let's do what I always do and make a ton of money. The transcription was performed by turboscribe.ai. Remove this message by subscribing to Unlimited.